Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and this evening we'll have a look at the latest GFS, GEM, ECWF, GFS ensembles. We'll have a look at some temperature and precipitation charts, and we'll have a look at the live radar as well. Do remember, if you enjoy my videos, make sure you like and subscribe. Do remember to follow me on Twitter as well, link is in the description. So we'll first have a look at the latest GFS, and it's looking increasingly likely after the very warm, even hot spell we're going to see over the next sort of 5 to 7 days, depending on your exact location, is going to come to an end with quite unsettled conditions returning. It's looking like we're going to be seeing some quite wet, especially further northwards and westwards, and probably some cooler conditions as well, for sort of the second half of June at this stage. It's looking increasingly likely that it's going to be going more unsettled and cooler. There have been hints over the last few days, but it's now coming into the more short-term time range, so I think we can start to say it's definitely looking unlikely the high pressure is going to hold on, especially further northwards and westwards. So if you run through the GFS, you can see a brief cold front comes through tomorrow, and you can see on the upper level, it's very, you can see it basically, it's just small, features just bringing some cloud through, so no really real rain on it or anything. But you can see a bit of cooler air coming into Scotland and some cooler air at levels of the atmosphere moving through southern England as well. Now it means Friday's going to be a bit cooler, maybe only 23, 24 degrees, whereas the last few days it's got up to around 25, 26 degrees at the peak. For Saturday, real warm air does engulf most of the country and starts to turn temperatures really quite high, back to 26, maybe 27 degrees on Saturday. Sunday and Monday is probably the apex of this sort of heat wave, perhaps seeing 30 degrees in the southeast on Sunday, and probably more likely through Monday. But on Monday it does look like low pressure and cooler conditions are going to return to the north and west, while high pressure and warm air hangs on in the south and the east. Beyond that, the south and the east remains with this warm air until Tuesday, Wednesday, and then by Wednesday into Thursday, a cold front sweeps through with this low pressure. Now, we need to keep an eye on how that develops. Again, there's no point looking at precipitation charts now, or like sort of 6 days out. We need to look at maybe 2 or 3 days out, as it could be quite an active cold front. And if it is, we could be seeing some quite heavy rain, maybe thunderstorms, so we just need to keep an eye on that. But the warm air completely gets swept through, and we all go into a sort of maritime air mass coming in off the sea. Quite cool conditions, but nothing real cold or anything. Just going to feel a lot cooler than we have seen sort of this weekend, with highs around 19, 20 degrees. Beyond that, we maintain sort of low pressure dominance, but low pressure is starting to centre to the south and over the top of the UK. Now, this could be a recipe for thunderstorms, with high pressure over Scandinavia, pumping warm air up into northwest Europe, sort of pumping it into this low pressure system. That could be a recipe for thunderstorms. Again, we'll have to look at that much nearer the time, and it's sort of day 10 away, so it's unlikely it's going to come off exactly like this. Beyond that, we continue milling around with these low pressure systems. Still warm air close by, so we could get the odd day of quite warm conditions when we do see sunshine, but there's still going to be a lot of showers, a lot of areas of heavy rain, and probably quite a few thunderstorms around with this. It could be a situation where every day certain parts of the country do see thunderstorms, some days see some brighter weather before the next day thunderstorms and showers return. So looking at that, it's going to be quite unsettled, probably with quite a lot of rain, probably mostly sort of from convection and showers. If we have a look at the GEM, see how that compares. So over the next few days, that high pressure is starting to build into the south with that very warm air for Sunday and Monday, before that cool air sweeps through Monday, Tuesday, and sweeps through all areas sort of by Thursday. Maybe the southeast even holding on Thursday, and sort of East Anglia. We could see a big temperature gradient there, where East Anglia is still getting up to high 20s, whereas in Wales, southwestern areas, only mid-teens. So very big temperature contrast could be seen on Wednesday or Thursday. Beyond that, low pressure does start to sweep in. Again, it centres to the south or over the top of the UK, which will allow winds coming in from the south or the east, which will mean there's potential for thunderstorms and thundery activity. So we'll really have to keep an eye on how that develops. It is day 10, as I said, with the GFS. They're both showing it, but it is day 10, so it's subject to change. But it would be a very wet and quite wet and much cooler sort of conditions with that. If we have a look at the ECWF, see how that compares. So over the next sort of few days, again, very similar with that very warm air through Sunday and Monday, especially in the south and the east, but that cool air starts to come in through sort of Monday afternoon in northern Scotland, and then we do get a brief pump of more warm air through sort of Tuesday into Wednesday before it gets swept away by that low pressure system. The whole country goes into cooler air before low pressure comes in, and by day 10 it maintains sort of a westerly pattern. So still quite unsettled, but the unsettled weather is mainly in the north with that low pressure centred toward the north of Scotland. Further southwards, under more high pressure, so it's unlikely to be as unsettled, but temperatures, winds coming in off the west, so it's going to mean temperatures are going to probably be around average. Perhaps cooler where you see rain and wind, but around average where you see sunshine getting into around 20 or 21, 22 degrees. Feeling pleasant where you do have the sunshine in the south. So that's all well reflected on the GFS ensembles. Over the next sort of 5 or 6 days, you can see quite warm upper air temperatures with very dry conditions as well. And then we see that big drop off. There is still a span of perhaps 12 to 24 hours in sort of the time frame within the ensemble. Some have it on Wednesday afternoon, evening, others Thursday afternoon into evening. So we'll have to keep an eye on exactly how it moves through and which day, because if it moves through Thursday afternoon and evening, it could mean some areas in the east and the southeast hang on to another really warm sort of mid to high 20s day on Wednesday and Thursday. Beyond that, temperatures are around average. There's a lot of spread on the ensemble members, but generally most are around 5 degrees at 850 HPA, which is around average. And you can see there's a lot of precipitation spikes, so frequent precipitation, and that a lot of that, if it follows in sort of the GEM and GFS patterns, a lot of that will be sort of convective shower activity with thunderstorms, where some areas could see an inch or two of rain in one day, and then 50 miles down the road, you can see nothing in a nice, beautiful sunshine sort of day. So it's really going to be quite difficult forecasting if that sort of pattern comes off. So we have to really keep an eye on how that sort of low pressure, or where that low pressure system does sort of position itself. So it's centred over the top of the UK. We could be seeing a lot of showers around, creating quite unpleasant conditions for a few days, looking at those models. So now if we have a look at the UK Met Office run, we'll only look at one model today for the max temperatures and precipitation, as I've looked of most of the models over the sort of last few days, and they're not really changing too much. The UK Met Office run is a much higher resolution model, especially in the sort of 2 or 3 day time frame. So for now, for this sort of weekend, we're just going to be looking at the UK Met Office run. So if we have a look through Friday afternoon, you can see at the moment it's around 24, 25, maybe 26 degrees in the east. Through Friday, temperatures are cooler further northwards, westwards, where we do see cooler air coming in, and that sort of decaying cold front. But further south and east, where that cold front really doesn't get through that much, we still can see 23, 24, 25 degrees, still feeling quite warm, but there's probably going to be some more cloud around with that cold front, sort of fragments of that cold front moving through. Then as we head into Saturday, so it does look like, unfortunately, the UK Met Office run, or UK Met Office model on the weather outlook isn't working sort of beyond 38 hours on the weather outlook. So I don't know what's the issue there, but it doesn't look like it's updating. But we can see temperatures through Friday, though, at least. So we'll update this again in tomorrow's video. If we do have a look at precipitation rates over the next day or so, see, there were meant to be a few showers around this afternoon. They never really sort of happened, especially in central areas. There were a few showers in southwestern areas, but they've really decayed, and we'll have a look at the radar in a minute. Overnight tonight, you see that decaying cold front moving through, really dissipating with its rain as it heads in. Maybe a bit of patchy rain through Wales and northern England, but really nothing too much through tomorrow. And then maybe a few showers in Scotland, but Saturday is generally pretty dry. So if we finally have a look at the Weather Channel, we'll have a look at the latest radar. So if we have a look at the latest radar, there are still a few showers in the south, in the sort of southern Wales and northwestern areas. If we do run it back a few hours, there were a few heavier showers in central southern England and in parts of Wales, but they've already decayed over the last few hours. But you can see there again, there are a few showers dotted around Northern Ireland, and there is rain that's that's moving in off the coast into Scotland now. Bit of heavy rain in that, but that's mainly being aided by the hills, so that will decay as it moves southwards and eastwards. If we lastly have a look at the latest temperatures, you can see, especially in the east, and even getting spots from northwest England as well, we've still got some quite warm temperatures, still in the high teens at the moment, so feeling quite muggy and hot. You can see further west, a little bit cooler, but generally, most of the UK is pretty warm at the moment. You can even see parts of Glasgow, Aberdeenshire, feeling warm as well, and that is the theme for the next few days. For it does look like, for the second half of June, it is going to be turning a bit cooler and probably more unsettled as well. So anyway, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you again for another video soon.